When I look at this record, I imagine a twilight sky and starry night. The glue part is like the clouds, and the dark blue, pink, and purple is the magical sky. I imagine the image of the record is a magical place with beautiful animals.
One day there was a little girl who was listening to music. She fell asleep under the tree with the music on. When she woke up, there was a leaf on, and she loved it, so she left it.
Miners don't get lots of respect. So this record story is really special because it's about a miner who didn't try to get rich. He spent every gold fleck on this record, so it's got a lot of respect. Miners don't get a lot of that. Jeff went to go mining. Half of his record had been finished. All he needed was one more gold nugget. When he got to the river, nobody was there. Good. The last thing Jeff needed was for someone to come along and find a gold nugget. He started to mine. 30 seconds later, he hit bedrock. Jeff kept on going. It only took 5 seconds for Jeff to hit Pirate's treasure. And once he did, well, you can imagine the commotion.
Once there was a man in Hawaii. He was very bored, so he got a record and threw it into a volcano.
Music notes used to be segregated. They were divided into groups of their kind. The world had a blank, musicless tone to it. There was no color. Then the music notes stood tall and combined groups. They all mushed together to make beautiful music. The world was full of music in many colors.
Once upon a time, there was a blue jellyfish that stepped on Bigfoot's hairy foot. This record has been used for bubble wrapping in boxes. The glitter was from a volcano eruption that caused it to rain golden ashes.
Once upon a time, there was a young Japanese boy named Yamasuke. Yamasuke was bored one day and decided to make a record holding his mom's beautiful voice. For his design, he was inspired by the Japanese gongs. The end.
Once upon a time, there was a man walking on the street. He was going to relax at Ocean Beach. When he was relaxing, he realized there was something buried in the sand. He went over there to pick it up. Apparently, it was an old picture of another man. There was text on it that seemed to be Russian, so he went home and brought the picture with him. He made a colorful record with it, and it had never been played before, so to this day we still don't know what kind of sound it produces.
I think this record came from a tree that grew. An apple fell and turned into a record. The record got turned when a lightning bolt hit it and melted and hardened. The record got here because the lightning bolt blasted the record all the way to here in front of the school.
Once upon a time, there was a record. The end. P.S. It is possessed by the Illuminati. P.P.S. Be careful. P.P.P.S. Throw it away. P.P.P.P.S. Or else.
Once upon a time, a girl found a clear record in the attic.
This record was with me a long time ago in 1918. One day I went to the paint factory. I was there to paint my beautiful record, but then a director called me to look at the big rainbow. I kept my record with me, but I dropped it, so I picked it up and found my record, and it was painted.
Once upon a time, a record was made on Mars. The record was red when it was made. The record was big. The record represented Mars. It was the first record to be made on Mars. Mars made more records, small ones, big ones, and colorful ones. The records went to Earth.
In a galaxy far away, a supernova erupted because two meteors hit each other. Little pieces created the record. It got launched to Earth and then hit an art gallery. They played it after it hit Earth.
Once upon a time, there were monsters. They shimmied on a disc. It's a boring place, and a lot of monsters live there. Then unicorns and sparkle things came and kicked the monsters out of there, and the unicorns painted it gold and pink, and the sparkle things sparkled it, and it became planet Earth. The end.
Once upon a time, an old man was singing to his daughter in China. He had lots of plastic, so he fashioned a record and recorded his beautiful voice. It was all clear, so he went to the rainbow and put it in. The end. I hope you like it.
When I look at the record, I see the music notes dancing. I see many different songs of the past, present, future. I see a magical world of music with every single song. Songs with magical powers and from magical creatures.
This is a record from the galaxy from Mars. All of the colors rose from Mars, and the princess came and sang the song, the most beautiful song in the land of Mars. Then when the song ended, the colors turned and tilted. It became the record of her beautiful song. It had a music note on it, the highest note. Then it left the world of Mars, and now it is here.
When I look at the record, it reminds me of a sunset. The colors all blend in yellow, pink, orange, and a little bit of red. Just like the sunset colors, it is very beautiful.
There once was a bowl of chow mein. The bowl got covered in red, orange, and green food coloring. Then the noodles fell off the car, and 2 of them landed in melted resin. The resin dried up with the red noodle, and the green noodle was never to be eaten again.
Once upon a time, there were 11 campers. They realized night never came. The sky was always blue. One day they all gathered around the campfire. Then a flower poked its head out and said, "If you want night to come, you must find an air bubble in the sky." After the flower said this, they turned into ghosts and flew off into the sky. The end.
There was an artist, and she was super mad about something, and she pulled everything she could see and put it in some melted plastic, and she just fell asleep for some reason.
Okay, hi, I'm Misha, and I'm going to read a story that has to do with aliens. So don't get surprised if it sounds weird. Once upon a time in the Aztec Empire, the people were expert artists. They were also friends with the aliens. See, told ya. They showed the Aztecs records. In honor of the aliens, they made a record of pure gold. Later, a boy named Misha found the record. The end.
This record was forged in the earth. Deep inside where the lava boils, this record was made from clay and rust. It was found after Professor Calculus and Tintin went on an excavation in Oahu in Hawaii. They discovered a hidden cave filled with a variety of valuable and marvelous artifacts. They took this record along with many of the other objects to a museum. There they learned that the artifacts were over 2,000 years old.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, 3 spirits came together and made this disc. A meteor crashed onto the spirit world, and it destroyed everything. But the body of the disc makers put the disc on Earth, and it stayed there. When it was played, spirits came. Therefore, spirits love to dance. Once upon a time, there was a car. It crashed and the metal was flattened. A boy found it and used it as a plate. Eventually, his fork scratched into it and made grooves, and it became a record.
Once upon a time, there were 2 Martians. Then they were in a forest with a big pond. When they were swimming, they got eaten by the big and blue-purple monster. The monster brought them to his cave. He spit them out and put them in his cage. They became a record. The record was the color of the monster.